Good morning and welcome back to my channel. I'm Mariska, just in case you didn't know. On this platform, I talk about whatever is on my mind, usually mostly in reference to my best friend or throwback videos from my WhatsApp series. So thanks for joining. So first way, and the main way, the generalized way that I categorize my friendships would be going from 5 to 1, and category 5 being that ride or die friend, and then category 1 would be the stranger. So it goes from 1 to 5, right? 1 to 5. Obviously, I want to start off with my category 5s. So my category 5, no need to say, for example, somebody like Eustace is a category 5 friend. I actually came up with a category just because of my relationship with Eustace. So a category 5 friend is a friend that ride or die, they support you through it all. You can call them 3 o'clock in the morning crying, talking about, how you just had a really bad day, or how you've been crying, or how you feeling lost in life. I've done that before. And they stay up with you, they try to console you, they try to talk you down of things, or talk you through things rather. The category 5 friendships, they're the ones that they know you. They not only encourage you or hype you up, but they also pull you up on things. Like, they're not just continue in your nonsense kind of person. Like, you have some friendships and they don't really pull you up when you're wrong. No, the category 5, they do that. They do that. Category 5s, they're there for the funerals, they're there for the celebrations, they're there for the down times, for the up times. Those are your category 5s. So the people that you can call and say, hey, I'm up JNF, I'm at the hospital, I really need you to come. Like, they can go to the front desk without having to ask you about information like, you're allergic to anything? No, they know this already. You understand? They know your mother's name, your father's name. They're basically your sisters or your brothers that not related by blood. You could put your head on the block for these people. Those are your category 5s. Category 4 now. These are the people, you're good with them, but then there's something in the relationship that you haven't really gone all the way with. Or maybe it could be like a friendship that's building into a category 5, but it hasn't really gotten there yet. So you can go with these people, you can talk to them about things. Not that you don't trust them, because you do, but like, you haven't told them that inner part of you, that you haven't really fully been vulnerable with these people. You may have your moments of vulnerability, but then you doubt sometimes if you call them 2 o'clock in the morning if they're gonna come. You understand? Like, they might got an excuse. Like, can't really think right now, like those kind of people. Like, yeah, you and them cool, you and them are friends, but like, you can't put your head on a block for them to say, bye, they're gonna show up for me at this time. Category 3. Now this category, these are people that you know and people that you're okay with. Like, you have a relationship, you have to relate to each other, you have to talk to each other, you have to converse, but you don't necessarily trust them like 100%, like not even 80%. Like, these people, you can go out, you can grab a drink, you can grab a bite. You have to have that relationship. And a relationship does exist between you guys. But then you wouldn't necessarily tell them anything that you don't mind hearing on the road. You wouldn't tell them anything like about your next moves, or you wouldn't tell them anything about like any kind of personal, anything too personal or anything like that. Some of you guys, I feel, should put some of your friendships in these categories. I mean, some of your like co-workers, because sometimes people really don't have anything good to say about you, they just kind of want to hear your news and then go and repeat it. And my mother always say, everybody does skin tea with juicy friend. Okay. Then you have category 2. What I consider category 2 would, at least in my life, would be some people that I went to school with, but like we don't really talk. So like let's say they weren't in my class, and you'll be like, oh yeah, I think I went to school with that fella. Like if you see him years after, know that we've already grown, you see them and be like, oh yeah, I went to school with that person. And that's it. Like if you see them on the road, you might hail them up, or if you see them, you might do a little nod or whatever, but like not necessarily exchange much information or anything like that. You see them in a professional capacity, everything is fine, whatever, but like you don't really tell them anything, you don't particularly trust them in any which way, or not trust them, but you're just like, yeah, I ain't really got a relationship like that. Category 1, those are just strangers, people that you meet on the street, or people that you meet on a train, on a bus. It doesn't really matter, not much. You can tell this person anything, because to be fair, low-key talking to a stranger is somewhat therapeutic, because you take away the veil of, you take away the whole judgment blanket from over your conversation, and you're just pretty much able to speak as freely as possible, and they'll be able to listen without casting judgment. And even if they do cast judgment, you don't really care, because they're strangers, so it doesn't really matter. No, it is important to note that all these different categories from 5 to 1, wherever you have your people, hey, this is my category 5 friendship, this is my category 1 friendship. Not even friendship, just relationship, the way that you relate to other people. Now, for me, it's important to note, when you have category 5, I'm sorry, people just say don't expect anything in relationships, but we are all humans and we always expect something. Doesn't mean that you won't end up being disappointed, but that doesn't mean that I shouldn't expect, because especially if there's reciprocation in relationships, what I give, at some point, I'm hoping to get back. I'm not giving it to get it back, but after a while, sometimes it puts a strain on your relationship if you have a one-sided friendship. You can walk up and down a road. That is just how relationships should go, I feel. Obviously, sometimes you have more to give, so you end up giving in and I'm not talking just materialistically, but I'm talking in whatever capacity. So sometimes I have more quality time to give, or more financial something to give, or more advice to give. That's the capacity that I operate on my relationships. For me, why I chose to do it this way is because if you put somebody in a particular category, then obviously that person would naturally have these kind of qualities that you expect from them, or have these certain attributes that you expect from them. So if I have a category 5 friendship, or a category 5 bracket, and I put you in category 5, has to be that I know that you'll support me, I know that you'll show up for me. It's one of those friendships that I invest in you, you invest in me. It's just one of these friendships that you can look for emotional support from, these kind of things, right? So you already have a certain set or a certain list of criteria under each category. Just act accordingly. And that's when I realized sometimes I was expecting category 5 qualities from people that really and truly just were supposed to be in category 3 or category 4 in the first place. You understand? Or expecting a category 3 person or category 4 person to do certain things that a category 5 person should be doing. And at the end of the day, you just end up making yourself feel a little bit disappointed. And I feel like it's a good way to bypass that. Not saying that your category 5 persons can't disappoint you same way, but you recognize that, hey, because everybody has their downfalls, but you recognize that placing them in certain categories, it really helps you to manage your expectation of what you can get from this friendship, especially compared to what you're offering. What benefits you have from being friends with this person? Are they pushing you to be a better person? Are they inspiring you to achieve your goals? Are they kind of encouraging you in whatever business that you're starting up? Like small things. Really be the small things. And I feel like people usually show up for who they want to show up for. And sometimes I realize I end up being exhausted because I'm doing all these things for people, or showing up for people in different capacities. And when it's me, it's like, where my people at? You understand? Like I'm in a constant state of understanding, but never really understood. And after I realized that, I'm just like, and it's not necessarily that they can't understand me. It's just like they're just not showing up to do that. You understand? And it's not about wanting back everything that you put in, but to be fair, after a while, when you just put in, when you just give, and you're left with nothing and nobody pouring back into you, it really does. It does take a toll on you, honestly. In all fairness, so categorize your friendships, guys. Honestly, categorize your friendships. I feel like that's the best thing to tell you. Categorize your friendships. Bye, guys. A part of you, and forgive my two little things here. I got cut the other day. But you have